All right. Sorry about that. We're good to go. A little bit of a mic setting. I think it's these damn headphones dying. So we're going to do this without the headphones and test it out. And just see how it goes. We'll try speakers. And then we'll just go from there. All right. And there and there. So anyway. Um, this week well, we start out with a little bit of, oh, I now can't do that. I can do it right here. Yeah. So anyway, we start this week out. We're doing Brock Lesnar out here on the SmackDown Live. Um, yeah. So in a nutshell, Lesnar's kind of pissed off, right? He's mad that Ray beat his little butt with a chair, and then Ray happens to be on Raw, and there's no double dipping brands anymore. There's no branding. There's no like where you are is where you are, and that's who you are. And so, Lesnar's all pissed off because, this little guy beat his butt and he can't handle it. So, um, we get we get Brock that decides that he's just gonna quit. He's gonna he's gonna say he's done, and he's gonna quit, and he's gonna hunt down Rey Mysterio on Raw uh, Monday, and that's what he's decided he's going to do. And then you see Shawn Michaels, Triple H, kind of escorting him. We're not escorting, but watching him kind of just leave the arena as he goes. Right. So this is what we're supposed to have for a champion that can quit a brand and then just leave. And we're supposed to think that's all okay. Um, yeah, so I don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to make the championship open? So you're going to fire him on Raw? I mean, you got Triple H watching him walk out. Did he just watch him and give him that look for nothing? I don't think it would be right to have Brock be able to just jump brands. That means anybody can just jump brands. And if we're going to have everybody just jump brands, then why did you take away the whole brand thing? I don't get it. I don't really like it when I saw it here, but it is what it is, I guess. And we'll see how this plays out. And who knows? Maybe they got something up their sleeve. Uh, we get to go on next to Bailey. Good old Bailey, right? Um, hold on. So she's got a new look, a new song, and she's needing a hug. Yeah. Um, versus Cross. She's a little psycho. And although Cross is a little nuts, I think they'll give her the belt eventually. Maybe. I mean, she's doing great. But I don't think they're going to put a belt on her today. Um, or tomorrow, for that matter. Uh, but I think she'll eventually have it. I think she's getting a lot better. They're hyping her. And she, I don't know, man. I hope she gets a championship at some point in her future. I just don't think that's going to be today. Not in this storyline and not with what we got going on and not in our current saga state of affairs. So that just is what it is. Cross does give her all she can handle too. Um, it's it's a pretty good match between the two. We do have Bailey end up taking that one. Um, I don't know. Um, I don't know how they're going to end up in this storyline either. We've kind of seen Alexa Bliss disappear. So where's she hanging out at? What is Bliss doing? Um, is a big deal. I don't know, where they're going to take that, but we'll see. Kind of. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I think right now we've got like a lot of maybe going on, and we've got this introduction of NXT. So I think that the format now we're doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think it's a lot better. I think that it allows for you got different time frames in each one too. So for me, I think it stands to be um, a much better format, and um, we just got to play out our people. We're seeing more and more of the superstars that kind of it just seemed to disappear during this crossover time, where we were doing the whole, some people jump back and forth and others didn't, and I think that in this in between time, um, we'll kind of see what they're doing now that we're getting them together and doing that. Sorry, it's a little bit of a ramble on that one, but um, the future is kind of up in the air. I think we're getting some of the ratings back a little bit too, so that's always a plus. And um, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see where it takes us, I guess. So we move into. Hold on. We move into the um, so after that we go to um, oh, I forgot to mention though. See, as I was mentioning this cross branding, the little one here distracted me. Um, we also got to mention too that you have um, Shayna Baszler hits Sasha on the outside of this match, and then commences to wrecking Bailey. So Cross, I mean, she won on the DQ. I kind of got off key. I was reading my notes ahead of time, and like I said, it's been a long week. So it Baszler interfering, knocks her out, but so we have a crossover okay for NXT, right? But it's not for Raw and SmackDown. So you have Lesnar quit so that he can go to a different brand, yet NXT can walk right in here and create this issue or this rivalry. So are they just exempt? Is it something that um, I kind of question. I kind of start to question a little bit of everything they're doing. So um, yeah, it leaves a lot up in the air of what's going on. So then we go backstage to Sami Zayn, which, I thought it was going to be uneventful for Sami, as usual, just kind of talking a lot of smack. And so, but then, he mentions that if the NXT wanted to step to him, then he would just have to. And at that point, you get Matt Riddle there, and what's his face? Forget the other guy's name even at this point. But so, um, yeah, and he decides that he would start making a break for it. He said he was original NXT, and he goes to take his shirt off so he can prove that he has his NXT shirt on, and it's just a black shirt. So he's gonna go to his car so that he can get it, and then they decide they'll so that way, you know, they could help him out. And of course, they end up in a foot race. And Sammy, yeah, let's see here. Let's walk into the arena as the place to hide. That makes perfect sense. Let's just walk into the arena, place to hide, and yeah, no, uh, so we end up with Sammy in the ring with the original bro Matt Riddle, and then we got a fight, and then the beatdown on Zayn. But you also have your SmackDown people here doing your bro chant, and we're getting that NXT fan base coming through and showing kind of what the WWE is doing right now. Just seems to be working. I mean, you've got a lot of people who follow and are into NXT, and it shows right there at that point when that the bro chant, and um, we're getting that fan base there that is supporting someone who really. We'll get into that in a minute. Well, then we move in. We get into our Ms. TV, and tonight the mention of the Fiend, who's now Universal Champion, and then a brief talk about Clash of Champions um, beating Strowman. But you get the Miz out, and he lets you know that unfortunately Bray Wyatt couldn't be here. But let's talk NXT, and then we get Champa, was it Rosmo Champa or whatever. It makes me glad that I've been watching NXT the past few weeks, and so he's recently back. I'm sitting there thinking, hey, I recognize this guy. He just came back, and then the announcer's right on time with he's recently back, neck surgery. As I'm taking the note about hey, and then uh, the announcers are right on time with it. See, this is the genius I was going to get to. The ratings were shit. The 24/7 title should be considered rock bottom for where they were at. And now they move networks to get NXT on TV in a primetime role. And yeah, so I commend them for that. A big kudos because we get um what is that? We get people like me, and I started watching 3-4 weeks ago, maybe, I'm not sure. So you move SmackDown and NXT, move SmackDown to Friday, then where it's been before, so it's not completely weird. You do NXT on Wednesdays, and Raw stays Monday, and then you start watching them, and then you get the promo, and then people like me recognize the talent, and others have been watching this for forever that actually created this machine, um, and know the talent, so they all get excited. So the few people that are left who hasn't tried the new flavor of NXT, this final push and this invasion is going to kind of rope them in um, to the uh, to the whole NXT experience. And then, we've got the NXT back um, to where, or I shouldn't even say back. You have the NXT on the same par level with Raw and with SmackDown. So I have to say kudos to these guys, and this was a very smart move overall. Because for those of us who've been watching for a long time, we know it ebbs and flows. But in this day and age, especially streaming, and where, you know, a long time ago, seems like a long time ago, you know, you could set a VCR, but you had to be home to watch the shows you wanted to watch when they came on. If you weren't, you missed it. If you're lucky enough, you taped it. And so you had rating slots. In this day and age now, I don't watch them live mostly. Uh, and most people don't either. And there's a lot more competition. So, you know, people that don't realize the ebb and flow of the WWE, the ups and downs, when ratings drop, they need to do something to get it back back in the check. So it's about 2 cents worth on that part. So we end up getting Miz and Ciampa, and they have a good little shit talk banter, man, to the beginning of that, and a match apparently. So I'm just like, come on, Miz, please don't lose. Anyway, Champ ends up winning on a submission against the Miz, and that was a little bit disappointing. But Triple H runs into Daniel Bryan backstage. Little mighty me, the little engine that could. Uh, and I'm playing these music the in here, but I don't know how it's doing. My headphones have kind of crapped, and I don't want to reset all of my audio because it may create other problems. Hell, it may have already created other problems that I'm not going to know about. But for all intents and purposes, right now, we're going to pretend like it hasn't. So, yeah, we get Daniel Bryan, and he starts talking shit, and Adam Cole out for a fight. And Adam Cole is the NXT World Champion. Huh, very nice. So Bryan's like, let's do it right now, but we're going to do it right. So when I beat him, I don't want it to be some gimmick shit. I want it to be for the belt. And wow, okay. So I'm like, maybe it's more than a one night promo. Maybe, yeah, just maybe. So we get that for our prime time. So we start a match, and Carmella is not coming out. Like, we're playing her theme music, and she just ain't coming. She ain't moving. And then we find out that she's getting just straight mangled in the back, and we'll see who could fill in. And then we get the NXT girl. I forget her name because I've been watching a little bit, but And we're waiting to see her here, and we get Fire and Desire now versus Rhea Ripley and Tia Knotts. Yeah. So another NXT invasion or takeover, if you will, like the name of all of their pay-per-views. So she ends up getting the submission with an inverted cloverleaf. Man, that's pretty nice. Kind of like picked her ass up, flipped her, and yeah. So we get our commercial then, and I only mention that because it's showing all three for the showdown of the pay-per-view. So all the pay-per-views are still cross-branded, and this one is gonna have, you can have the fuse blow up there, and this was gonna kind of be like a three-way war. So that should be pretty cool too. And dun, 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 we have the game. It's all about the game, not how you play it. So with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and they're setting in commentary for a minute, and then we get Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, all right. So she's gonna talk about women evolution and the match with Lacey and Natalia, and I have to say, you know what? Good for them. Like, I'm glad that that was a big moment in their career. I'm glad that they were able to do whatever. The first, women's match and all of that good stuff. But I have to say, um, yeah, I don't care. And I don't care because, not because it's not good for the women's movement, not for any of that, because they still had to wear fucking t-shirts, right? Long sleeves, whole body covered. They had to stop being who they were to do it. So to me, like, if you're trying to go over there and make a statement about what the shit you do in this country isn't right, then be who you are and do it, right? I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'll ask them, how they feel about it, because ultimately it ain't up to I can feel all how I want to feel about it, but it really is unimportant, in the grand scheme of it. So, um, yeah, it's just crap. It's crap because, like I say, they had to not be who they are in order to get it to work. And I don't know, whatever. So the crowd even knew his boom, and Triple H did a great job with that whole thing. The whole thing, he did a tremendous job. So we get 30 minutes left in SmackDown. Huh. I'm like, now we're gonna get a main event. This could be a barn burner, you know. We get a commercial first. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And then we get, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, and we get Daniel gets the yes lock in finally on him, and Cole gets the rope. And I'm thinking that Cole's gonna lose this because you have now Bryan, a Raw superstar, holding a belt, and to me that would be a cool deal. And but I don't know. Bryan's getting all pumped, like Kelly crossed out. And no, man, Cole gets him in the end and retains. And now there's the next time, the hype, the NXT speech. They're calling out Raw. Um, we get the whole "We Are NXT" speech, and yeah, so Survivor Series hype starting strong after Crown Jewel. Uh, so yeah, I gotta give them kudos on the whole deal. I kind of like it, kind of like it. So we'll roll right into a little bit of Raw action. Boom, just like that. And here we open at first. We get a car, and Triple H checking the second car, but we don't know who came with him. But we're gonna do this, We're gonna do it, and we get the Beast incarnate, and he's here looking for Ray Ray. Looking for Ray. Am I seeing Ray Ray? And he's trying to make a case for each case, and he's entitled to do what he wants to do. Paul's pretty much telling everybody that, and he's pretty much preaching a white privilege, and that's pretty much what he's doing. Uh, it's how his contract is structured. They can't do it. This and blah 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 blah. Don't give a shit, Paul. Don't really like this whole quit switch brand things. It's just I've over the years come to not like Lesnar. Just in his storylines and how they do him, they could do so much more with this dude and get Paul Heyman. Well, Lesnar, you can tell he's got 3 brain cells and they're all fighting for dominance. So I can see why he has to have an advocate, but still. Uh, anyway, they make their raid demand. They go backstage, and he's just trashing every employee, cleaning crew, doorman, whoever he sees. He finally approaches this limo, rips the door off the damn thing, throws it in the ring, in the floor, pulls some dude out by his foot, and he's like, I'm not Ray. All right, whatever. Kabuki Warriors in the ring versus Charlotte, Flair, and Natalya. Not really something I got all excited for, but let's do it. And for the second time, Natalya gets a sharpshooter in and gets a sock at the top. It's the second match. We've done this match before. I think it's just filler. I think Raw is too long a show. Anyway, so we end up getting Lesnar out with Paul to the announcer's table. Where is Rey Mysterio? Tell me, King. You know everything. Where is he? Or unleash the beast on you. And, we get Brock slamming one of them through the table. Yeah. All right, whatever. So then, from behind, with a bat, we get Rey Mysterio. He works his knees with him, takes his belt to the head. He just starts whipping the beast ass. Right there. Just bat, belt, don't matter. Just beat down. The 619 just killing it. So, but here's the thing, right? All the security comes out when to stop Ray and do all of that. Where the fuck were they when Lesnar was trashing people? He goes into the room. slams him through a table, no one comes. He's out there slamming people 100 times, nobody comes. Ray hits dude with a belt once or a bat, and they're there, ready to pounce. Uh, just doesn't seem right. I don't like it, but it is what it is, I guess. So they're gonna put that belt on Ray, huh? Are they? I mean, he's gonna have a match coming up with with what's his face with Lesnar and Ray. Are they doing it? I don't know. Be cool. Sorry for the cough, man. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric the Entertainer. I'm sorry, Cedric Alexander. And we get Buddy Murphy winning this one. Are we really gonna do a Buddy Murphy hype? I mean, he is former NXT. Once you're NXT, you're always NXT. So, I don't know. Maybe. So we get Triple H. He's waiting for his caravan reveal. You know, the we replayed the NXT invasion to SmackDown and kind of ironic term again, takeover. Um, yeah. So we what is this? Didn't know I had that one set there. But anyway, we get the Kingslayer, the Beast Slayer, out. It's been a rough week, rough couple of months. I didn't even think about the fact that the Fiend has the title, and he's on SmackDown. So hey, that explains why Brock quit, came over, bring his talents to Raw. Seth is speechless though, and he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and so, well, he gets his answer. Somebody has an idea. Seems like every time you don't know what to do, I show up, you get a title, you get the shield, you don't know what's next, but I do. Right? So, they have a nice conversation, and, he's like, Seth, I want to know what Seth Rollins is going to do next. I know how to make you great. I know what drives you. You're with me or against me. Huh. So, at this point, we get NXT The Ring, and we get the OC, AJ Styles, and the return of NXT is to an off night. Then let's do it. You get an all-out brawl, man. Undisputed retreats, NXT from behind on the OC, and then they all come in. So here's the part, though. Right? None of them, NXT, Raw, none of them attack Seth. They don't even get in the ring. He's still just there. And why is that? Undisputed Era on his side. So we have Rollins step up. He lets them know what's up. And tonight we get Adam Cole and Seth Rollins. Yeah. That would be good. So, is NXT going to be the double branded Battlefield? Is that how we're going to do this? I don't know. So, Rusev out. You want Lana, she is all yours, but your ass is mine. That's Bobby Lashley there. So you get Lashley out on crutches, and I'm like, beat his ass anyway, Rusev. Don't give up. Talk about how he pulled his groin on Lana. It's not medically cleared, but he's got to volunteer to fill in, and we get Drew McIntyre. So anyway, quick point. Lana, that whole Russian accent is completely gone. So apparently you gain an accent. Never mind. We won't get that dirty with this. So you get Bobby Lashley involved in it. Drew just kind of abandons like he does, looks at it and is like, and just drops ship. But then we get Randy Orton jumping in, and then Ricochet in to help out. So, um, yeah, I guess Rusev's gonna be in this little tag team battle we got going on. So that's cool too. Becky interview. Shayna Baszler comes out to take the interviewer's place. A little nice talk they had there, but they're gonna have a triple threat at Survivor Series. Be these two and Bailey. So we'll see how that plays out too. Survivor Series itself is going to be interesting. Uh, I think. I mean, that'll kind of be pay per view is going to be where we're going to have our cross brand rivalries if we can have them. If they can't, I don't know. They've got a plan. We don't know what it is. So, um, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, NXT title on the line. Is Rollins going to NXT? Huh. You have a superplex to a Falcon Arrow, and Adam Cole still kicks out. I mean, these guys are going at it. Right as Rollins line up a kick to the head. Hold on. Hold your seats. Oh, crap. I should have flushed the growing water. All right. We're back. And, yeah, so, anyway, NXT, boom, 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 boom. So, we get, so right as Rollins is lining up his kick to the head there on Adam Cole, so that they're going to take these guys out, we get, uh, who we get coming in, man? We get a brawl pretty much. We get Undisputed Era interfere. They pull the leg and kind of stop him, and then we get Raw to the stage to defend because they're not going to get caught like SmackDown was, I guess. And we get a complete brawl, and we end Raw on that note of people flying out of the ring, chaos. It just completely stopped. Like it was the classic. Uh, the show is ending on people still fighting. So it was, it was good times. Um, excuse me. All right, so a little bit of something extra on this one though, especially since we had the break in the action there. We went ahead, since we got extended with having to take care of what we need to take care of. We did a little bit of NXT, and why not? Um, Styles, AJ Styles, is first out on, is right out on NXT, and I decided that the GOWP is going to invade NXT. So we're here. Styles and the OC. They're showing up at NXT and beat their way to the ring and announce their takeover. Huh. Kudos, man. Kudos. So Styles knows Champa comes out with the original bro out to welcome them. And he decides to welcome AJ to the main roster. NXT is the main roster. Welcome. Good to have you. Very nice. So we end up getting a 6-man tag for the end of this NXT bout. And yeah, so Damian Priest and somebody. So I'm gonna learn these names as we go. You get Priest hitting an old school power bomb at one point. You could just see the neck bounce off the damn turf. That shit hurt. And finally, the girly guy, I forget his name. He did a submission where he's pulling the dude's fingers apart. Just pulling them apart. This shit looked like it hurt. It hurt. He got a cheap shot when the ref wasn't looking. And, yeah. Afterwards, we get a sneak attack Gillian Dane, I think the dude's name is Gillian Dane. Uh, yeah, he comes rolling in, and then does some move called it was called the cannonball afterward. I see why. He just kind of like straight slammed his body into him rolling up. Looked like it had to hurt. And cool. So then we get Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is our WWE or WWNXT champion, and I had her music cued, but I guess I don't know where it went. Oh well, not important. My headphones aren't working anyway, so the audio would probably be way the hell off on it. Um, so we have Baszler win this. You knew she was. I mean, you're not gonna go. She's getting ready to have a triple threat at a pay per view, man. So, but she gets her submission in the end, and then she has her two lackeys attacking the heck out of her, and then we get Team Ripley out, and we have a six-woman pay-per-view coming up. So apparently the men and women's war games, it's going to be big with that. Then we get Tony Nese, the premier athlete. And this here's a number one contenders match for the cruiserweight title. So he's facing Angel Garza. And Angel does end up getting this power wing, power bomb thing. And then he secured the pin. I know, baby. I will be there in just a minute. And so he gets Leo Rush next week for the cruiserweight title. Nice. So Leo out to shake his hand and gets a smack in the face. This is where Leo Rush went, guys. If you guys are wondering, this is where Leo Rush is now, if anybody cares. Uh, so we get the main event. NXT short. It's an hour. That's why I like it, man. See, that's the genius. You put this 1 hour in on a Wednesday, and yeah, it's kind of like a supplement to setting through 3 hours, and then you get SmackDown. I think it's. I don't know. Could be genius. So anyway, we get Riddle, Keith Lee, and Ciampa versus Styles and the OC. And I will say, this big Keith Lee dude. If you haven't seen him before, I'm sure you have though. Probably seen him before I did. Hell, my schedule's rough. For a man his size, he's bouncing all over the damn place, underneath jumping. Um, yeah, man, he's he's athletic, big son bitch. He is. I like I like everybody's chanting for him with his. I don't know. It was great, man, and I liked it a lot. So we end up getting the DDT and the original Bro, Styles and Balor. So we get Finn Balor out, and he DDTs the original Bro, and he kind of acknowledges Balor and Styles kind of on the same page here, and AJ is going to drop Adam Cole with a kick to the face through all of this, and we get this stare down to Balor. No winner, just a setup for Survivor Series. So I thought that was cool. But anyway, sorry for the delay. Obviously, I tried to throw this one together to get it in. Like I said, we this week has been way off schedule due to some things, and but we will get it covered, and I'll try to start covering all three. Why the hell not? Anyway, once again at the GOW podcast show, and yeah, sounds great. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, find me. Thanks for listening. Peace.